This conference will now be recorded.
Guys, good morning. Good morning, Amma. Guys, today class bit change. We require the Java 8 features because real time these days the coding is mostly done in the Java 8 features. Stream API filters, Lambda expressions, method reference, functional interfaces. So these days most of the coding is done based on the which one, Amma? Java 8 features, Amma. So today we will see next few days we'll go for the Java 8 features. So very important. Just you need to focus on this all the concepts. Good. Guys, coming to the interfaces, declare interface using which keyword? Interface keyword. Interface something like you can take the message interface. By inside interface, what we can define? Inside interface, we can define the abstract methods. Inside interface, what we can define? Abstract methods. It's up to Java 7th version. Up to Java which version? 7th version. Up to Java 7th version. Java 7th version. Interface allows only two things. Interface allows only constant variables. Interface allows what? Constant variables. Constant variable in the sense in the Java, these variables are by default public static final. These variables are by default what type of public static final. Inside the interface, it is not possible to declare instance variables. Inside interface, you cannot define the instance variable. Some people will ask the question, can we define the instance variables inside the interface? No, because once if we define the variable, that variable is by default what public static final. Public means anyone can access. Static means using class name, interface name. Final means can be modified or cannot be modified. Yeah, cannot be modified. These are constants. Up to Java 7th version, interface allows only which methods interface allows what? Constant variables and the abstract methods, right? Void M1 method. Okay, this method is by default which method abstract method. So this method is by default what public and this method is by default public and abstract. Its interface variables are by default public static final. Interface variables are what? By default public static final. Interface methods are by default public and abstract. Abstract methods means what right? We have only declarations. There is no implementations. There is no implementation. So up to Java 7th version, it allows the data like this. Up to which version? Java 7th version. From Java 8th version onwards. Up to Java 8th version onwards. From Java 8th version, new features, Java 8th version. Interface allows the default methods. Default void, something like M2 method. Which method, default method. From Java 8 version, it allows the default methods on what, static methods. Static void M3 method. Up to from Java 8 version. Get the point, right? Default methods and static methods, and default methods, static methods, these are declarations and implementations. We have some logics here. Implementations. Here also we have some logics or declarations. Logics here. Exactly. Logics here, right? Exactly. So it goes from Java 8th version. From Java 9th version, again some of the new features. Java 9th version, Java what? 9th version, we have the interface allows private methods, private void M4 method. Private methods also have some logics here. Private methods, next one is what, private static methods. Private what, static void M5 method. So how many methods, 5 methods you got. Got the point, right? Logics here. There is a new features with respect to the Java 8th version, Java 9th version about the interfaces. Up to Java 7th version, interface have the only service declarations. Only service declarations. From Java 8th version onwards, what interface allows what default methods on what static methods. And from Java 9th version onwards, it allows what private methods and private static methods also. But these all four methods, declarations are implementations are implementations. These are declarations, implementations are implementations, right? Exactly. Sir, you're saying that Java 8 version onwards, these are allows implementations. What is the use? Some people will ask the question. At this point, it's clear. Up to Java 7 version, what allowed? Java 8 version, what allowed? Java 9 version, what allowed? My interface can have many methods, interface methods. My interface what? Methods. Interface contains what are methods? Tell me guys. It contains abstract methods, Tell me, it contains what? Abstract method. Let me up this one. Otherwise, you are seeing that and you are saying simply. First method is what, Amma? Abstract methods. Second one is what? Abstract methods. Second one is what? Default methods and static methods from which version, Amma? Java 8 version. For next methods, what, Amma? Private methods. Private methods allowed and private, tell me, private static methods. In some interviews, they will ask the question interface why it allows the default and the static method for the use. Interface generally for declarations, right? But default methods and static methods are declarations are implementations. Why the interface supported default and static implementations? Get the question right? The question, why the interface allowed default and static methods implementations. Question is clear? Yes. For this question, the answer is very simple. Now, why the interface allows default static implementations means, observe one point. We have the list implementation classes, right? What are the list implementation classes? Tell me. We have the array list, and we have the linked list, and we have the vector, and we have the stack. Assume like for these four implementation classes, I want to give some functionality, X functionality. For these four classes, I want to give the functionality. I am the list interface. You are the implementation classes. But what is my requirement? For these all classes, I want to give some functionality, not declaration. I want to give functionality. If I want functionality means what common functionality is there. For all people, addition functionality is a common. Then she is declaring the functionality. Satya, Priyanka declaring functionality, Teja declaring the functionality. Option 1. Option 1. Satya is having the ad, Priyanka is having the ad, Teja also having the ad. Because that functionality is required by three people, three implementation classes. Option 1. Option 2. Declare that addition method implementations in the list interface itself. Once if we define the implementations in the interface itself using default methods and what? Static methods. Tell me here, once if we define the implementations, inside the interface, that can be used by all implementation classes, right? Sir, I want to give some common functionality to the all implementation classes. That functionality declare inside the interface using default and static methods. Get the point, right? What the point? What's the point, Amma? To give the what? Common functionality to all implementation classes. To give the common functionality to all implementation classes. Okay, guys. Then what? Speak out there. What happened? Then declare the functionality. Declare what? Declare the functionality inside the inside the interface using default and static methods. Using what default and what static methods. It's very important point. Friends, people ask this kind of questions. Why the interface allows the implementations? Why the interface allows implementations means that implementations can be used by all implementation classes. Tell me what the point. Why the interface allows implementations, ma? That implementations can be used by one implementation class or all implementation classes. All implementation classes. That is information. Okay, sir, clear now? That is the information. Clear? Good. To give the common functionality to all implementation classes, then declare that functionality then declare what? That functionality. Declare that functionality inside what interface using what? Default and static methods. So that okay, so that the implementations can be used by enough. I think that point that is enough, right? Up to this one, that is enough, right? To give the common functionality to all implementation classes, declare that functionality inside what interface using what default and static methods, so that it can be used by all implementation classes, right? Exactly. Question is important, right? That is a point. Why interface allows the default and static methods? That's a question. Hmm? Good. Because next point is functional interface. This is very very important. Other important only project is other important. What interface functional interface. The interface contains only one abstract method. Only one number. Two abstract methods means not. The interface contains only one abstract method. Tell me guys what the point. Tell me once. The interface contains only one abstract method is called functional interface. You get the point, right? The interface contains only one abstract method. It may have the default methods, static methods, private methods, and private static methods. You get the point, right? The interface contains only one abstract method is called what? Functional interface. Get the point, right? The interface contains only one abstract method is called functional interface. The functional interface may contain default methods, static methods, private static methods also, but only one abstract method, right? Very very important functional interface. We focused. It clear, right? That is called functional interface. The interface contains how many abstract methods? Only one. That may contains what the default interface contains how many methods? Five. What are the five methods? Default. First, you have to start with abstract. Abstract method, default methods, static methods, private methods, private static methods. Very good. But what is the functional interface? The interface contains only one abstract method. It may contains default methods, static methods, private static methods also, right? Exactly. Functional interface is clear? Yes. Guys, that is called which interface? Functional interface. Yes, can you please tell me some valid and invalid case about the functional interface? Java folder. What the topic we are discussing? Interfaces. So guys, coming to the interfaces. What the point? Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6. You please just to tell me these are the valid or invalid cases, right? Yes. Yes. Now tell me case 1, functional interface or not? Case 1, functional interface or not? Yes. Valid. Case 2, case 2. Okay, this is what? Invalid, right? Because it contains how many abstract methods? Two. Abstract methods means invalid, right? Case 3 is valid, invalid, valid, because it contains one abstract method, only one abstract method. It may contain static methods. Any problem? No problem. Case 4 is valid, invalid, valid, because only one abstract method. But static method is there and the default method is there, right? If any problem is there, no problem. This is what? Valid. What about case 5, Case 5 contains what? Multiple static methods and the multiple default methods. You forgot about how many static methods, how many default methods. You think about how many abstract methods, only one. This is valid, invalid, valid. The last case you can see, sixth case. It contains private. One abstract method is there. Static method, default method, private method. Uh, Default method, static method, private method, and what? Private static method. Get the point, right? Yes. Default methods and what? Static methods, right? That is not important, but we are pronouncing every time. First one is what? Default methods and the static methods, right? Even pronunciation also will make the clarity, guys. That's what. Got the point, huh? No, that is a functional interface. Clear, right? Yeah. Yes. Next one is what? Lambda expression. This is very, very, very important. Lambda expression. What the concept, Lambda expression. So we got the 3 points total. First point is interface allows default methods, static methods, implementations. Second one, you got the clarity about the functional interface. Third point, we talk about what lambda expression. Main point, lambda expression. Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of functional interfaces. Lambda expressions will provide implementation of what? Functional interfaces. So you have the point, lambda expression will provide the because provide the implementation of which interface, functional. Functional interface. Functional interface method. Method or methods are. Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of functional interface method or methods are. Method. Because Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of functional interface method, because functional interface contains how many abstract method? Only one, right? That implementation we are writing here. You got the clarity, right? Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of which method, functional interface method. Clear, right? That's the point, and see, lambda expressions will provide implementation of what, functional interface method. The lambda expression, the syntax for the lambda expression we have to see. The syntax for the lambda expression is very simple. The syntax for the lambda expression is arrow. Before arrow, we have to pass the arguments. Before arrow, what we have to pass? Arguments. One arguments list. Depends on your requirement. If you got the point, right? These are what, arguments. Arguments list. After arrow, we have to write the expression. Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of which methods, functional interface. The syntax for the lambda is what? Arrow is there. Before arrow, what, arguments. After arrow is what, expression. Get the point, right? Yes. But the lambda will take the any number of arguments. Lambda will take how many arguments, one argument or multiple, any number of arguments. The lambda will take the, any number of arguments, any number of what, arguments, but only one expression. The lambda can take one argument or multiple arguments, multiple arguments. The lambda expression will take any number of arguments, any number of what? Arguments, but only, read this point, everyone. The lambda expressions will take the any number of arguments, but only one expression that will be executed and returned. It's very very important. We have read the example. Sir, no, yeah? That is information. It is very very important. Lambda expression purpose is what? To write the implementation of which interface, functional interface. Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of which methods, functional interface method, right? Functional interface. Syntax is what? Arrow. Before arrow? Argument. Before arrow what? Argument, right? After arrow is what, expression. Then it can take lambda expression can take how many arguments, The lambda expression will take the any number of arguments, but it takes only one expression. But takes how many expression, only one expression that will be executed and what? Returned. Because you got the point, right? Lambda expressions will take what? Any number of arguments, but only one expression that will be executed and what, return, right? Exactly. Get the point, I will write one example, guys, so they'll get the clarity. Let me open Eclipse ID. Guys, let me open what? Eclipse ID, This is my Eclipse ID. Yes, Eclipse ID. Eclipse ID how to open, You don't know Eclipse ID means we can't do anything. Okay. Yes, let me close the Eclipse ID. Otherwise, let me reopen once. Open Eclipse IDE, give the workspace location. So 2022-03. Guys, you can give a new workspace location. Let me give the JDBC code, something like workspace. The workspace I want to create example. Uh, JDBC means core your workspace, right? That's what I'm choosing that. Let me write one functional interface, one Lambda expression code. Today we'll go for the how to write a Lambda expression. Tomorrow we'll apply this Lambda expressions in the collections. At the point, right? Yes. That's what. Can you please repeat, Amma? What is a Lambda? What is a interface? How many methods allowed in interface? Five methods. What are the five methods? Up to Java. You have to అట్లా కదమ్మా. Up to Java 7th version. For up to Java 7th version, abstract methods. Java 8 version onwards, default under default methods and what? Static methods. Java 9th version onwards, private methods and private static. Private methods and what? Private static. Priyanka is respond today party. Yeah. Party. Please, one second. No, no. Get the point, right? Chocolate. Dairy milk chocolate. Ini? Topic is what? Lambda expression. Ratan sir is hero. Topic is what? ఏంటి టాపిక్ ఏంటి ఫస్ట్ టాపిక్ ఏంటి ఇప్పుడు క్వశ్చన్స్ క్వశ్చన్స్ వాట్ ద ఫంక్షనల్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ఫంక్షనల్ ఇంటర్ఫేస్ ద ఇంటర్ఫేస్ కంటైన్స్ ఓన్లీ వన్ abstract method very good amma today I am feeling very happy because of one of my favorite student Priyanka respond అవుతుంది కారణంగా what the point amma functional interface means what the interface contains only one abstract. It's called functional interface, right? Exactly. The next one is what lambda expressions. Lambda expressions will provide the implementations of functional interface method. Method or methods are method because it contains only one abstract method, right? Lambda expression syntax is what? Arrow. Lambda expression argument syntax is what? Arrow. Before arrow, arguments. Before arrow what? Arguments. After arrow, lambda expression can take any number of arguments, but how many expressions? One expression that will be executed at what? Exactly. Guys, let me write the code. New, create the project, new project, Java project. Tell me, guys, project name. Uh, uh, what are the concept name? Lambda examples. Just click on what next. Click on finish. We know that. Just you can go for the SRC. Right click. Tell me guys how to create new. I want to take the class. The class name is what? Package name is com.tcs.lambda. The class is what? Lambda example one. Lambda. Then yeah, L should be capital. Class name should be started with capital, right? Lambda example one. Click on what? Main method. Click on what? Finish. First you know that to write the lambda expression, what we required first of all, functional interface. Yes or no? To write the lambda expression, what you required? Functional interface. Very good. What you required, functional interface. To write the lambda expression, first you required the functional interface. That's what. Let me take one functional interface. Collections they will use functional interface, but this is a basic code, right? We have defined functional interface. Let me take the interface name is what? Greeting. Interface name greeting. Can I take one abstract method? Greet method. Okay, this is normal functional interface. Functional interface. But to represent this interface as functional interface, we have the annotation functional interface annotation. This is the annotation to represent this interface is what? Functional interface. So if you remove this, what happens? No problem, you can remove. If you remove observe, if I take the void m1, then what happened? Tell me, this is normal interface, functional interface. This is normal interface. This is normal interface. Any errors are there? No errors. But your requirement is there is normal or functional? Functional. In this case, what happened? If you put the annotation, then you get error message. Annotation is giving information. This is functional interface, but it is functional interface or not? No. That's what error message. If annotation is there, then it should be a functional interface. Otherwise, error message. because you are giving information to the compiler. Hey compile, this is my functional interface. This is a functional interface, right? It's saying clear error message. Read the message. Invalid at the functional interface annotation. Greeting is not a functional interface. Uh, it means you are representing. If you do any mistake, compile immediately throw error. Without this annotation, then what happen? If you do mistake also, any problem is there? No problem. That's what. But it's not a functional interface, right? That's what. Just functional interface is annotation just to represent that this is which interface? Functional interface, right? Exactly. Guys, let me write the lambda expression. Lambda expression means what? We are providing the implementation of functional interface method. Then which method we are writing implementation? Greet method. Wait, which method we are? Greet method. Sound. Which method? Greet method. Then you can take the greeting g1 equal to reference variable required now. Yes. Here we have written the lambda expression. Lambda expression means providing the implementation of this method, right? Syntax is what, arrow. Syntax is what? Arrow. Before arrow is what, arguments. Here how many arguments are there? Zero. Zero arguments means zero, nothing. What I need to do? After arrow, expression. Nothing but logics. What I will write the logics is out control space. Returns are classes. Nice. What about returns are classes? Nice. Nice or not nice? Very nice. I know myself. Returns are easy. Topic is what? G1. But while listening the videos, listen the videos, take the notes properly. Listen the videos, the people who are listening Ratan sir classes, take the notes what we are writing. Please execute all the programs. Writing the pages notes is good or not good for health? Not good for health. Good or not good, Not good. What you listen, you write the notes clearly. What the examples you done, write the examples, then do the practicals of that examples. Writing the programs in the paper useless, you should execute the code also. First you note down the complete notes, then you start executing the code, see the output, you will get the clarity. After seeing output, you get the output right. You're getting output right. Feeling important. If you are sleeping, sleeping, no sleep. If you are sleeping, no feeling. You will get which feeling? Sleeping feeling. Get the point? That's what G1 dot which method we have to call greet method. But that is lambda expression. Sorry, let me write the lambda classes. I got the point, right? That is information. Yeah, that is lambda completed. Lambda expression means functional interface is there. Functional interface contains only method that implementation you are writing. Yes or no, yaar? The people are teaching very heavily. Lambda means lambda. Lambda is very simple. A simple and difficult lambda. Priyanka is responded today. Very simple, right? Yeah, tell me guys now. What's the point then? Then run the code. Then we need to run the code. Right click on the project. Let me guess. Right click on the project. Run as Java application. Server. Just click on Java application. You get output is what? Ratans are classes. Ratans are lambda classes. Nice. You get the point, right? Yes, very good. Yes, but here I written only one expression. Real time also writing how many expressions are good? Only one expression. No, sir, I want two lines. You want two lines means what we need to do? Right? Greeting z2 equal to home arrow. We have to put what first arrow. Before arrow is what argument. After arrow what expression. But you want one expression or two expressions? Two expressions means you have to put the data in the braces. But writing the code inside the braces good or not good? Not good. We never write in the real time multiple lines of SOPs. Here you can tell me some names. Here I can write the names. The name is what? Student. Oh. Your favorite words I'll write. One is a sleeping. One is a sleeping. First line. Next line is what? Sys out control space. Sleeping and what? Next one is what? Dan eating. Very good. Yeah. Sleeping. What? Eating, right? Exactly. Sleeping and eating. But completed. Lambda sleeping, lambda eating, right? Yeah, lambda sleeping. Next one is what amma? Lambda eating. Because now we need to call what amma? G2 dot. G2 dot what? G2 dot what amma? Greet method, right? That's it. You can done the work. You got the clarity, right? Functional interface, you define one functional interface ma. That implementation you can write here itself. Using which concept ma? Lambda. Lambda generally can take only one expression, but you want multiple expressions, take that multiple expressions inside the braces. Possibility is there. But recommended, not recommended ma? Not recommended. Run this code ma, you'll get the output. Any problem? No problem. This is our control space. You can put the stars here. Just run this code. This is first one. This is what? Second one, right? Any questions? Get the point, huh? Very good. That's example one. Can you do one more example? Enough, huh? Clear? Huh? Good. Very good, Amma. One more example. My classroom, no one is there. Just I'm feeling myself. I'm talking. Guys, here you can write a lambda example 2. Click on finish. My lambda example 2. Tell me the code for this one lambda example 2. I want to take the one functional interface. Tell me what the functional interface syntax ma? Interface service operations. Interface what ma? Operations. Interface you can take the operations. Okay. Then here we take one abstract method. Void add method. Add is expecting how many arguments ma? Int num1 and int num2. Bus. Then write the lambda expression. Can we guess? If you want annotation, to represent this one is in functional interface using which annotation ma? Functional interface annotation. Then write the code. Tell me guys. Operations. Operations op1 equal to what ma? Operations op1. What is syntax for the lambda ma? Arrow. Before arrow arguments. You don't write the code ma. If you write the code, all are errors. All are what? Errors. That's what. Can I copy this code? Please place the code here. Arguments. After argument, what am I? Expression. This is our control space. Can we get addition of? Can we get addition of what? Two numbers. Addition of two numbers. We can write the plus num1 plus what? Num2. You know, write that line, right? How to write that line? Yes. My sir, no, this is our control space. Addition of what am I? Two numbers. Like this. Yes, can you please call that man? But this is the implementation, huh? Then we need to call this, right? How we need to call this ma? op1 dot. We are calling add by passing 10 comma 20. Bas. Much simple here, lambda. You guys please comment about Ratan sir teaching about the lambda code. If you have any questions, you can comment only. Run this code, ma. Addition of two numbers is 30. That's a lambda expression. But we will use this lambda in the collection somehow. You'll get the more power of lambda expressions and method reference concept is there. Okay, good. Guess next, you got this code right? Run this code, run button now. Addition of two numbers, how much ma? 30. Clear? Huh? Clear or not clear? Clear, right? Good. Next one is what? Operations. Operations OP2 equal to my operations OP2 equal to, let me copy paste the same code again. Same code again. But here the point is that when you take the lambda, no, when you take the lambda arguments ma, type of the argument is optional, not required. Type of the argument required, not required ma, not required. Remember ma, it's very very important things. This is our control space. We need to call that method, right? op2 dot add method by passing 100 comma by passing what? 200. Let's run this code ma. If you run this code, that's it output. How many examples you understood? Total two examples ma. What the first example you understood? Tell me. First example, when you take the lambda multiple statements means when we take the, tell me guys, when we take the one statement multiple statements speak out there. When we take the multiple statements, take that statement uh, take that statements inside the braces, curlylu, burlilu, that you take care of braces. First one ma. Second one is what ma, when you take the lambda arguments, when we take the lambda arguments. Remember guys, when we take the speak out, when we take the lambda arguments, lambda arguments, the type of the what argument is type of the argument is what ma, optional. Very good. Type of the argument is what, optional, right? Exactly. The first example you taken with arguments or without arguments, without arguments. Second example you are taking with arguments or without arguments, without arguments. Yeah. First example you are taking with argument or without argument, without argument. Second example you are writing with arguments. Third example you will write with return type, with the return type, right? Exactly. Guys, let me take this one. Let me take what this one, example 2. Let me write this. Example 2 is there. This we need to place here. We need to place here. Yes, example 3. Yes, this example 3. First, we need to take what functional interface. You got the point, right? Take the function. Guys, can you hear me? Yeah, small disturbance. Guys, see now first example is what we are talking about. Greet with how many arguments ma? Zero arguments. Without arguments. Second example is what ma? With arguments. Third example is what ma? With return type. With the return type. Let me take the interface, service interface. The interface name is service. If we take the interface service, take the interface is what ma? Service. Let me take the login method. Let's take the string return type. Take the return type is what? String. The method name is what ma? Login. Arguments definitely what ma? Username. Next one is what? String password. Bas. This one na generally? Yes. You please write the lambda expression for this code. To represent this interface is a function interface at the rate function interface. Sir, how you are getting immediately this function interface, sir? Control space ma. At the rate function interface control space. At the 2 3 character control space automatically will come. Java developer is not great, yeah. Eclipse side developer is great because Eclipse side is not there. Writing the Java code is good or not good for health? Not good for health. Eclipse side developer is great. Tell me guys, tell me the lambda expression for this. Actually, we need to check the username password, amma. We need to check username password. Username dot equals of Ratan. Password dot equals of Ratan at the rate 123. Give the return type is what amma? String. Login success. Otherwise, we have to give login fail. What requirement? Tell me, amma. Take the username password. Check that username dot equals of username dot equals Ratan. Password dot equals of Ratan at the rate 123. Then return success. Otherwise, failure. Sir, no, yaar. But to check this username password, you require if else condition, right? If else conditions means how many lines of code we have to write? 4 lines of code. If SOP, else SOP. How many statements? 4 lines. But I told you lambda expression can take how many expressions? One expression. So here we will not write if else. Very clear. Without if else, we need to check that username password in a single expression. Using how many expressions? Single expression, right? That is a question. And then people, anyone guess? While watching the YouTube, you got my intention, right? To check the username password, definitely use the if else conditions. The people who are guessed, you please comment. Okay, you have to use the if else condition, but I told you that don't use if else, because if else means how many lines of code? Four lines. But you want four lines or one line? One line of expression required. In one line we have to check the username password. Okay, Priyanka is very good. Priyanka is saying that. Very good, Priyanka. Online people, you respond, and YouTube watchers, you respond. Which one you want means we have one ternary operator is there. What the concept name? Ternary operator. Condition question mark. Condition true means first value. Condition is false means second value. I told you that is a short form of if else condition, right? Short form of what? If else condition. That is the reason. Yes, you please tell me the code. I hope you understood, right? Ternary operator. I told you ternary operator, na? Then you tell me the code for that directly. That's it. Tell me the code for that. Ma, what is the code? Service. Speak out. Service. Service S1 equal to arrow. You have to tell first arrow. First arrow. Before arrow, arguments. You write the arguments are copied. Copied. As for the previous example, I told you that arguments type required, not required, not required. I removed. Then here implementation. This implementation, previously you don't have you have a void, but now your return type is what? A string. Then you take the braces, go for return statement. Return. So no, we have written the string, right? That's what return statement. This is called implementations, right? Previously return type is what? A void. But now return type is what? A string. That's what return amma. What we need to check, tell me? String username dot equals. My username case sensitive, not case sensitive. Uh, Generally username is not case sensitive, right? That's what we have to write what? Equals ignore case. Equals ignore case of what? Ratan. The first one, username dot equals of Ratan. Uh, Equals ignore case of what? Ratan. What we can write, next one is what? Username dot equals ignore case of Ratan. Let me write on second line. Don't think this is second line, actually one line only, but I'm making the second point. Password, because that is visible to you, right? In a single line. Password is equals ignore case. Equals, because it's a case sensitive. That's what you can write the Ratan. Ratan at the rate 123. At the rate what, 123, right? Then you can close the brace. You can put the semicolon here. Why? No, I think wrong. Why? Username dot equals ignore case of Ratan, and tell me guys, password dot equals of what? Ratan. Ratan at the rate 123. Yeah. Guys, this is the condition, right? This is completely one condition only, na? Then we need to put what? Question mark. Otherwise, do one thing here for your understanding purpose. Let me write everything in what, single line. Write a some complete syntax. Return username. See guys, I'm writing everything in a single line. Yes, this is a syntax. Return statement is there. Username dot equals of what? Ratan, and password dot equals of what? Ratan at rate 123. Then question mark. This is a completely my condition. This is my completely my condition. This my condition is true. Condition is true means here login success. Return type this will be returned. Login success. If it is a colon, whatever you want, you can pronounce. Login success fail fail. Login success and what login fail. That is the point Here end of the statement put the semicolon Return statement semicolon closed. Brace is closed. Just while taking the return, I taken the brace button to understand that clearly. Because return here and space is there. That's what generally we need to take the brace. We need to take inside what brace. This line is clear. You want me to show this line one more time? You want nothing ma? That line very simple. This one line, this one, right? Bas. Username dot equals ignore case of Ratan and password dot equals of what? Ratan at 123 question mark. This is completely condition. First I written this line. This line just I'm putting in the braces. That's it. Okay. In that case, just you can copy paste this. That's it. Are you clear now? Yes. You guys are clear now? Yes. Let me write this code. Guys, here you can go for the code. In the code, return success failure done now? Yes. Completed task. Because you please call that what we can say we can call that method, right? Service method. Tell me guys, how can we call that method? S1 data, which method ma? Login. We have to call what ma? Login. We have to write the Ratan username. Password is what ma? Should be case sensitive Ratan at the rate 123. Ratan at the rate what? 123, right? Then you can take the string. Return type is there na? We are calling which method? Login method. This return type is what ma? Stringer. Then can you please hold the stringer? String what? Status 1. Status 1. Bus. At the point, right? Yes. This is our control space. Tell me guys what the point here. Login. Tell me your sleeping login. Your login. Tell me guys your login status. Your login status is what ma? Status 1. You got the point, right? Sir, can please run the application. If you run the application, what is your expected answer, ma? The expected answer, ma? Login successful. Your login status is what, ma? Login success. Click on this run button directly. See? Yes, can you please tell me the one more time? I will check the login failure code. Tell me the code one more time. Service, speak out, service S2 equal to involve. Yeah, we have to involve. Online people while watching YouTube video also involve. Involve, ma. We need to put the arrow before arrow. Tell me that before arrow arguments. Type of the arguments required, not required, not required. After arrow, we need to write the return statement, amma. Yes, but only return statement is there, na. Return is also optional, not required. Generally, for you to understand, I written the return statement, na. But while taking the lambda, return is also optional. You don't need to write the return statement. What we can, but it is returned. Generally, sir, return statement is there, na? Yes, here return statement is there. But writing the return is required, not required, not required. That's what you can write the code. Tell me, username dot equals equals ignore case.
Equals ignore
This
case.
question important. What is the difference between the equals and equals ignore case? General Amirpet students will tell you equals ignore case. We'll check the ignoring the case. Equals means case sensitive. Equals means case sensitive. Ignore case means what? Without case sensitive. But instead of saying the answer like that, instead of saying that, say that username is not case sensitive. Generally, when you enter the usernames are not case sensitive. That's what you can enter the cap letters and small letters. You can go for the equals ignore case. But password should be the case sensitive. That's what use the equals method. Which one is more meaningful? Tell me. What Ratan sir are saying, right? That's what Ratan sir is always good. Sir, no, yeah? Very good, Amma. Username dot equals ignore case of what, Amma? Ratan. Wait, Ratan and what? And tell me guys, next we write what? Password. Password dot equals of what, Amma? Ratan at the rate 123. Generally, that is my requirement in that case. Put a question mark. Very good. Login. This is a if condition is true means this one executed. Colon. Colon what? Login fail. Condition is false means this one executed, right? Yes or no? Yeah. Yes. There's information. Then tell me how can we call s2 dot login method? Generally, login method, the data is what we are checking with Ratan and Ratan at 123 now. But username I'm passing Ratan, but password I'm passing Ratan at 123, Anu at 123, Anu at 123. Then login success failure, failure. Well, they're expecting inputs as Ratan and Ratan is 1 to 3, but we are passing what Anu, right? Exactly. Guys, then here string we can write the status 2. Write what? Status 2. That's it, Amma. It's out control space. Tell me your login status is what? Plus we can write what, Amma? Status 1 or 2? 2. Plus. You get the point, right? Then we expected answer is what, Amma? Your login success or failure? Your login failure. First one is the login success, second is the login failed. That's it. Three examples are clear. That is the lambda expression. First example, second example, but third example, what the conclusion we got when you take the when we write the lambda expression, when you write the lambda expression, before arrow is what? Arguments. After arrow is what? Expression. When we write the lambda expression, uh, giving the return type is mandatory, optional, optional. So, giving the return type, return statement, tell me guys, while writing the expression, while tell me guys, writing the expression, lambda expression, writing what? Lambda expression. Tell me guys, giving the return statement. Return statement in the sense this one, right? Giving the return statement is mandatory, optional, giving the return statement is what? Optional, right? Exactly. The conclusions are clear? Yes. First example, tell me. First example, what the conclusion? When we have the single statement means it's not a problem. You can write directly like this. But when we have the multiple statements, take that statements inside the. We take that statements inside what? Braces. Number one. Number two. Number two. When we have the lambda arguments, the type of the arguments is optional. And type is mandatory, optional. Optional. Third one is what, when we take the when while writing the lambda expression, uh, lambda expression logics. When we write the lambda expression, what, logics, giving the return statement. This return statement mandatory, optional, optional. You get the point, right? Yes, you please take care about these three examples. Write the notes, and you please take care about these theory notes. Take care about what? Theory notes. Get the point, right? Meet in next class. We will go for what? Today what we learned? Tell me. Last time. Please respond, everyone. Last time. First one, we talk about the interface methods. Interface allows what kind of methods? Tell me. Up to Java 7th version, it allows constant variable and constant variable and what? Abstract methods. Up to which version? Java 7th version. From Java 8th version onwards, it allows what, default methods and static methods. From Java 9th version onwards, it allows the private methods and private static methods. It's one point. Keep aside. Next, function interface. What is function interface? The interface contains only one abstract method. It called function interface. It may contains the default methods, static methods. That you know that point. Third point is what? Lambda expression. What lambda expression? Lambda expressions will provide the implementation of functional interface methods. Functional interface method. Not yes, some methods means multiple method. Functional interface method, right? Yeah. Lambda syntax is what? Arrow. Before arrow is what? Argument. After arrow? Expression. Now lambda expressions will work only functional interfaces. If it normal interface means lambda expression will work? No. You want me to write that point? Lambda expression will work only in case of what? Functional interface. Functional interface or lambda expression. Normal interface lambda expression will work or not work, Not work. Because lambda expression providing only functional interface methods, That's the point. Lambda syntax is what, Arrow. Before arrow is what? Arguments. After arrow is what? Expression. Lambda can take any number of arguments. Lambda can take what? Any number of arguments. But how many expressions, One expression that will be executed and returned. That is evaluated and returned. Executed and returned. Clear? How many examples we done total? 3. First example, you are taking the zero arguments. But first example, the conclusion is what? When we have the multiple expressions, take that expressions inside the braces. Lambda sleeping, lambda eating. Second example is what, Amma? When we have the arguments, the type of the arguments required, not required, Amma? Not required. Tomorrow when I use this lambda in the collections, Amma, I will not use the types. That you should know, like, okay, while taking the lambda, types are what? Not required. And third example, what we discussed, Amma, when we take the return statement, well, lambda expression logic, the return statement is mandatory, optional, Amma? Optional. Got the point, right? Very good information, guys. Please write the notes, maintain the notes, execute the code. Guys, with this explanation, you please do one small code. Take one functional interface. Take one functional interface. Interface name is service. A service string return type. You can go for the vote check method. Generally, for the voting purpose, string name is required, int is required, and string location required. You write the lambda expression. Write the lambda expression. Write the lambda code. Write the what, lambda code. Check the condition, age should be greater than or equal to 18 years, and tell me guys, location should be Hyderabad. Location is what, Hyderabad. Okay, then give the message that you are eligible for voting. You are eligible. You are eligible for voting, right? Exactly. Eligible of what, eligible, not eligible, not eligible. You are not eligible, right? You are not eligible for voting. You are not eligible for voting. That's all. This example you do with what, write the lambda code. Execute this code also. Just like login only, same process. Here we have to use the and operator, na? We have to use which concept? If else a ternary operator. Ternary operator. Condition question mark. True or first value. False or second value. Colon is there, na? Clear, right? Uh, we'll meet in next class, ma. We'll go for the Java 8 features continuation, right? Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Like the video, comment the video, and share the videos to your friends, ama. The people always share the information to everyone in that, so that they'll get some good content, right? Sana, share the videos to your friends. Huh? Bye, guys.